you guys, please tell me if you guys killed ASMS yesterday. Just to give me some easy math. Guess what?
What about now? Sorry, guys. Sorry. Are we good? All right. So, good morning, fellas. Please let me know if any of you guys killed ASNS yesterday. It was the best play of the day. We were on it from the start of the day. It would give me some ease of mind, especially since I missed it. But we got a lot of stocks to watch this morning. There's quite a bit out there. If you're looking at the Gap Up watch list or the top scanner, there's quite a few out there. The market overall is doing pretty good this morning too. Hopefully heading out of correction territory here soon. We got a lot to look at today. ASNS, of course, was the best play yesterday. But if you're anything like me, you want to find the next one, and there's going to be another one. There's going to be another one today, so don't be too disappointed in yourself. And we're going to find it, and I have an idea of which one that may be. But there's a lot today. There's a lot to look at. There's a lot of stocks that have some volume. There's attention is going to be all over the place because we have ASNS. We have, of course, any. These stocks you definitely want to keep an eye on. Like we've talked about recently, you want to keep eyes on some of these stocks that have recently ran and that have broken out. So any had the 650 breakout, and now it's still sustaining most of its gains, sitting right around 705, and this can absolutely still get the attention, still get that morning spike like it has been. So this is something that we need to, of course, just keep on watch as well. This one can get back up, to 750 and beyond very easily. So we're going to want to keep our eyes on that. Of course, ASNS, we're absolutely going to want to keep our eyes on this one as well. Break of 4 and back above that, we can start seeing this continue to move. Now, this stock doesn't have a lot of resistance, honestly. I mean, it's got $5, and then over $5, it doesn't have resistance up until the 200 day at 988. So $5 is going to be, the tough resistance area on this one. But that's what we're looking at so far here. And then let's take a look at some of the other stocks that have some news this morning that are gapping up a little bit. First of all, let's take a look at SLS. SLS, this one came out with some news this morning. It's gapping up a little bit. So on this stock, what the news is Cella Life Sciences announces expedited development path for, I don't know how to say that word, GPS, galinpepimut-tussus. So it came out with news I'm not certain about, but what I look for is just a CEO statement on this. See how excited the CEO is over this, and he says, following a discussion with the FDA, we're embarking upon a revised phase 3 study. We believe this new study will provide us with a quicker path to approval, provided the study is positive. That's what he says. And in addition to a statistical analysis plan, which we believe accords a viable pathway for meeting the primary endpoint, we have built in an adaptive design, thus furthering enhancing the probability of a positive study. So pretty much the news on SLS is just companies saying they've formulated a new plan which thinks they can get phase 3 done a little bit quicker. That's why SLS is having a little bit of a gap up this morning. It's sitting it right at 177 right now. This one, the daily chart doesn't excite me too much. It doesn't have a ton of range on it. But that's the reason that one's up right now. Then we have a few more to look at here. TNXP. TNXP, this one did have a reverse split. It had what did it have? A 10-1. Yeah, this one had a reverse split, a 1-for-10 reverse split. This one's up from 50 cents, went up to 4.50. Now it's sitting at 4.10. And so companies oftentimes will just do these, reverse splits to interest longer term investors. Get to a price point that's going to attract people other than just, penny stock buyers and sellers. Because at 50 cents, at 35 cents, he was even at yesterday, a low up. Not a lot of long-term investors are going to be, picking that up. It's not a very attractive number. And also, not only that, I mean, in order to be in compliance with, the Nasdaq, you have to be over $1, and that's another reason. So it's a bearish sign, but we've seen these reverse splits quite often get a lot of hype, and the reason being is because they do, the 1-for-10 reverse split, their float becomes much more smaller. You just divide their float by 10, and so now TNXP might have been a 10 million in float stock, and now they're at 1 million. And so I know a lot of the chat rooms out there love this. I'm not going to say any names, but it provides very volatile. I mean, just a lot of volatility on a stock such as this. So its public float is slashed by 10 times. And we could see this run. Now, 450 is going to be, our top resistance on this stock, TNXP. So we just want to keep an eye on it. We want to keep an eye on it just like we were keeping an eye on ASNS yesterday, because ASNS, that one just kind of faded off. That's what I wanted it to do. Yesterday I said I was going to buy at ASNS at the break of 150. It broke 150 right at the start of the day, and then it was a fake out breakout. I don't like buying stocks that just are very bullish right from the get go. So ASNS, it broke 150 right at the start. I didn't want to buy it right out of the gates because, for one, TD Ameritrade never takes me out when I have an order, right out of the gates. And number two, I don't like buying into green candles. I mainly buy into red candles nowadays. It provides me with a lot slimmer risk versus buying at the top and then seeing like a big wash of 30 cents or so. ASNS, we called perfect. We before anyone else was on it. I just completely missed it. I was focused on any. And with that being said, there's a lot to focus on today. And I only have 5 monitors. What's up, Brad? Good morning. Hope you're ready to kill it today. We got a lot of options out there. We're just going over everything. Kayvon, there's a couple I put in my watch list for you. I think ACAD, that one looks like around something like you trade, and AMD. These are both having some nice gap ups in pre-market. Yeah, a lot going on. We got AMD and pre-market work in ACAD. Those are a little out of my price range, so I'm trying to focus on some other stocks and find that next ASNS. And I don't want to tell you this is going to be the next ASNS, but I always find the sympathy plays. And my biggest winner last year around this time was TIK. TIK was the stock. Yeah, that happened, I think, last December. I made $850 on that stock. And that's when I was trading under the PDT. That was only 600 shares. Made $850 on. But the thing is, I didn't just complain about missing a move. I said, okay, let's find the next one. And that's how you got to be positive. I called ASNS and still missed it. But that's okay. Let's find the next one. I think there are going to be a lot of good opportunities today. With any could be it. ASNS could be it. SLS, I don't think is going to get it, but what I say is not 100%. Let's look at MBRX. MBRX is one of my favorites. MBRX, this one has a high so far of 172, and there's a reason that the high on MBRX is at 172. It's not rocket science. If we look at the daily chart on this, 170 is the 200-day moving average. And that, of course, is a level of very tough resistance. And that's why we're seeing that now, sitting right now at 155, 150, the half dollar serving as some, natural support. But let's take a look at why this stock is even up in pre-market. At 7:30, the company announced new data further supporting its lead drug for treating pancreatic cancer. And so now let's find the CEO statement on this. Can you guys hear that? My cat is like knocking at the door. So the CEO said, we have an independent testing with a radio-labeled drug confirming this in animal models. So they've tested this on animals. Published research shows that our growth and survival of pancreatic cancer requires activated STAT3. And they've demonstrated this in some animals. This is very encouraging and confirms the direction that the company has taken. We are heavily engaged in preparing the data necessary for an investigational new drug application with the FDA is targeted for to file that in 2019. So of course, a lot of that over my head, but pretty much they say that animal models, have been confirmed for treating pancreatic cancer. They're still in phase 3. They have not passed yet. But MBRX, this is one that I like a lot because, like we went over yesterday on ASNS, there's not a lot of pre-market activity, and this is exactly what we talked about. Now I'm not gonna say that MBRX is gonna get it because there's volume everywhere today. I'm just saying keep MBRX on your watch list, keep it on your radar because it could randomly get that volume. But we need the volume. We need the volume confirmation. We need to wait for it. Just keep an eye on it like ASNS yesterday. I did not keep my eye on that, and it took off without me. But MBRX, this one has a catalyst. It's not up a lot in pre-market. It has good pre-market attention, though. But it's not up enough for shorts to be interested in just sending this down. It's got a pretty nice chart as far as breaking out past 170. 170 is the 200-day. If we break above that, we got room to go up. But, I wouldn't be playing it necessarily like it's going to be the next ASNS. Just because there's just so many stocks that we need to look at this morning. The volume is going to be all over the place. It's hard to tell which one all the volume is going to just start consolidating and moving towards. That's the concern here. MBRX, this one has potential, but we need volume confirmation. Price action is king. Price action is definitely king. But what are you guys looking at? What's your number one plays today? I would say, we got a pretty long watch list. I'm trying to eliminate as many as possible, but we got to watch any. We got to watch ASNS. Got to watch MBRX. We could eliminate SLS. It's not my favorite. I don't really think it's going to go anywhere. My personal opinion. TNXP. That's a reverse split. I have seen these do pretty well before. I got your message on that, Kayvon. You went long on DGAZ and in pre-market this morning. What was your entry? So yeah, I'll probably eliminate SLS. See how much I can eliminate here. Oh, you bottom ticked it. Nice. Dude, that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, don't let the emotions of that trade and what you're missing out on now affect your next trades because you killed it. Be happy with it. I know it's definitely painful. I know it's painful. You should have scaled out, dude. Should. I'm kidding. Don't beat yourself up over it. Because it's going to happen every day. Imagine the amount of people on ASNS yesterday. Let's say I probably honestly on ASNS yesterday would have been more upset if I actually would have done what I said and bought it at 150. Because I know for sure I always sell these things too quick. I know for certain I would have bought at 150 and probably sold at 160. Like, all right, it took my 10 cents, guys, $100 or whatever. I know I would have done that. But I always tell myself, Kevin, scale out. So normally, position size on that probably would have been 1,000 shares. Not a whole lot. Take my 10 to 15 cents. Scale out. I got to start scaling out. I'm beating myself up over a trade I didn't even make. But for one, I should have been watching and I should have made it. And two, if I would have got in it, I need to scale out. Scaling out is so key, guys. Or not even that. Scale into it. Just scale in or scale out. Stop. You got to stop with like the one entry, one exits. That's my problem. It's 100% my problem. I hate it. One entry and one exits. They're crippling because you have to be like so perfect with them, with your single entry, single exits. But if you use the power of scaling, just to work your trades, to work in them, to work out of them, it's so much easier. It calms your nerves. It takes a lot of the emotions out of it. It's one thing that definitely helps me because for me, like my number one fear is, not taking profits off the table when I have them. And so with single entry, single exit, that's what has crippled me. I'm always locking in like $50 to $100, nothing. And then, the thing runs without me like ASNS. I gotta learn to scale in, scale out of some of these trades. That's the thing I struggle with a lot. Is the power of scaling. Because single entry, single exits, bad idea, not good. Need to try to avoid them. Here's MBRX cracking 150 down to 147. TNXP, we got to keep this on watch because I know some of the chat rooms are probably going to be looking at this reverse split to moving on up to break 450. I mean, the thing is, this is not going to be like a long-term trade. You're not going to want to hold TNXP. This thing it could use shape and break out. I can see right now a chat room pumping this, breaking 450, hitting $5, and then just fading off the rest of the day. So be careful with it. Just know it's going to be a pump and dump if you're going to trade that. But I have seen it a lot. I have seen these pump and dumps happen on these reverse stock splits happen a lot. What would be beneficial for some of these companies, and it's quite funny, honestly, when some of these companies, when they do like a 1 to 10 reverse split, and then they come out with news on top of it. So it's like they come out with something very bearish, but then very bullish as well. It's pretty humorous how they do that. And sometimes you wish you could just, hey, what's going on, Tom? How are you doing this morning? There's a lot going on. I don't know if you've been here for the majority of the this live stream, but we've been going over a lot of stocks that we're watching. If you weren't, I can run through them real quick. I definitely want to make sure you guys are ready to go. You're prepared for the day because there's a lot to look at. And what's interesting is it's like people are like, how are you not making money? There's so much going on. I found that when there's a lot going on, I get I get very confused. I'm looking at one stock, but then something's happening on the next stock, and then I'm a lot better when there's like one stock to trade. Sometimes I like all this volume. I love the momentum. I just got to work on keeping an eye on all of them, or just hiring a bunch of people to trade for me. Evening here in Greece. Oh, nice. Nice, Tom. Yeah. So, what time is it in Greece? Do you live there? Or are you from the States and vacationing there? That's pretty sweet. Yeah, MBRX, this is one I've been going over. I really think that you're going to be good to go. If you entered around the 45 to 50 area, you'll probably be fine. I mean, the thing is, coming out with good news, and your previous close was at like 138. I mean, how much lower can you go? It's like your stop is really good. That's the good thing about it, Tom, and that's why I really like your entry on that, because the previous close is 138. I mean, are you really going to come back down to your previous close after coming out with good news like that? So your stop is like, yeah, 422. So nice, nice, nice. The beauty of Greece. So your stop is pretty tight. That's the good thing about it, Tom. Uh, and MBRX does have potential. Just note that 170 is 200-day moving average. So if you want to scale out of that area, if it gets back up to pre-market highs, which it can, but let's look at ASNS for example. So you're in MBRX this early. ASNS didn't even take off till 10:15. It just kind of faded and did its own thing for 45 minutes. So you just got to keep that in mind that nothing may happen on that stock for 30 to 45 minutes. Just keep that in mind. So, yeah, we're watching any. Any could get the volume back up above 7 and 715. 650 is going to be good support on any because that was its daily breakout area. ASNS, we definitely want to keep this on watch. That gets the volume. All these previous runners. MBRX, I think that's a great one to keep an eye on as well. TNXP, this is going to be one I'm going to keep one of my eyes on as well. I wish I had a lazy eye, so I could be If I had a lazy eye, I could be watching the tons of sales in the level 2 or the chart at the same time. So these guys, this really helps them out. I think having a lazy eye, but that's random. I'm sorry. TNXP, this one I'm going to be watching for 450 break if it gets volume. I think it can. I mean, look at it right now. The bid just hit 412, 420. I'm sorry, guys. And I added, I don't know if you saw my video yesterday, I added part of the live stream into it. And the audio sounded so bad. I don't know why. I'm gonna get a mic. I'm gonna get a mic soon here for this computer because this, for some reason, I think the computer is picking up my audio instead of the mic, and I'm not sure why. Because on my Mac, it doesn't do that. It picks up the audio great. I'm sorry about that, guys. Is it working okay now? So I listened to some of the live stream as I was editing yesterday, and the audio was awful. But TNXP, this one, just keep on watching. It's going to be quick. Can you hear me now? Make sure the audio is good. Okay. TNXP, this one is going to be quick. Very, very quick. I don't know if that's going to help. Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, we got just a few minutes here. There's a couple really good stocks to look at. Here's the thing. I'm looking at TNXP, MBRX, and then, of course, any and ASNS. I think that's plenty. There's 4 right there. There should be good opportunity on each of them. I know. I don't know what to do, Kayvon. I'm going to go get a mic, okay? I'm going to order a mic, and I think we'll be good to go. Make sure you guys can hear it as good as you can. As good as you can. So, what's your plan? What are you guys looking at? Feel comfortable? There's a lot going on. I know there's a lot going on. But look at TNXP already. Thing is hitting 439. Oh, dude, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. I'm here to help. And don't thank me. Thank B. He's the guy who graciously allowed this. And so, I know he really wants you guys to try out the platform as well. You can try it for free for 7 days. So this is just like a little brief session for you guys in the morning. But if you tried it out free for 7 days, I know he'd really appreciate that. The platform is great. It is great. I think it's really going to revolutionize the scanning game. But that's what I'm watching for right now. 10XP, I'm not going to be buying if it opens up near 450. I want it to settle down and sit around $4, 4.05, 4.10, and then you shade back around. I will look to pick some shares up. It's really risky of a trade. Just go into it knowing it's going to be kind of risky. It's an in and out type of trade. That's how these reverse splits are. And then MBRX, of course. But that's about it. I'm about to start getting prepared for live trading. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you